Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to be talking about Andrew Yang's performance in the CNN Detroit debate night 2, right? He absolutely crushed it tonight. Yang seriously upped his game from the last debate. But today I want to talk about what he talked about, and I want to talk about his delivery and what's important about his delivery. So let's talk about it. One, I'm so super excited. Andrew Yang he had a rough time coming out of the debates in the first debate a few weeks ago, but tonight in the CNN Detroit debate night 2, I think America has the opportunity to see what I've been seeing all along, that Andrew Yang is an incredible candidate and that he should absolutely be our president in 2020. All right. I'm just so excited that the world is going to get to see Andrew Yang the way I see Andrew Yang and the way I've seen him for months, and it's really exciting, right? So let's talk about it. All right. So let's talk about what Andrew Yang talked about tonight. He crushed it. Andrew Yang was super focused on getting his message out, and almost every single question that was given to him, he was able to roll in the ideas that he's been working over for months or well over a year now, and bring these relevantly to the questions that were asked of him. Andrew Yang first talked about universal basic income, the freedom dividend, right? He explained that the universal basic income under Andrew Yang is a freedom dividend. It puts $1,000 a month in the hands of every adult American. Andrew Yang was able to say this clearly. He was able to say it in an exciting way, and I think he was able to say it in a way that people are going to understand and is going to pique interest in Andrew Yang and in UBI and in the freedom dividend. All right. He talked about automation, and boy, did he do a great job about talking automation. First, he said we need to be laser focused and realize that automation is the true threat, right? And he did a great job of talking about this. He said robots are coming to take your job, and immigrants are being scapegoated for what's really going to take your job, what's really filling the factories. And that's, knocked it out of the park. He really just, knocked it out of the park. I was so proud of him. The issue of race. So Andrew Yang talked about the issue of race, and he explained that UBI, Universal Basic Income, was actually proposed by Martin Luther King. Andrew Yang also talked about the 7 years he spent running a nonprofit and how that nonprofit did help people of color. He also talked about how automation will impact people of color severely, most likely far more than people who are than non-peoples of color. Right? Great way to bring it back around. Automation is a real threat. And Andrew Yang has real solutions for this real threat, right? He talked about climate change. He talked about how America is only 15% of the climate change problem, and how we need to bring people to higher ground, right? And I was like, what? That's a weird thing to say, Andrew Yang. But guess what? Andrew Yang says some weird stuff. You know why? He's super intelligent, and he's brilliant, and he really says some things that are profound sometimes, and I love listening to him because you can be surprised by him. He's just got a million things in his head, and they're all awesome, and they're all fascinating, and it was wonderful to be surprised by Andrew Yang again, because I've heard a lot of what he's had to say, right? So he talked about Trump, and he said that he specifically is able to build a coalition of Donald Trump disenchanted and libertarians. As a capitalist, as an entrepreneur, I think he's absolutely right about this. He really is a good candidate to specifically beat Donald Trump, and there were a lot of people on that stage tonight who really have absolutely no chance of beating Donald Trump, and Yang is not one of them. He can put Trump down. He can put him out of the White House, right? And that is really important. Andrew Yang is a very real candidate for really delivering change and for really winning, okay? He talked about gender, right? He talked about how stay-at-home moms work is counted as zero right now in our economic model, and it should not be. They should be counted, right? And how UBI will be a game changer for women and will really help many women who are in a host of bad situations, but universal basic income will aid them, right? And so he brought the issue of gender around to UBI. And to be clear, the reason why he kept bringing every issue around to UBI is the reality is every person on that stage tonight, every person on the stage last night except Andrew Yang, they're all just turning knobs on the existing system, right? And Andrew Yang is bringing a solution that is a new system. UBI will be transformative for America. UBI will be transformative for the world. Andrew Yang talked about foreign policy, international policy, right? He said he will re-enter the Iran agreement. He says America has had erratic international relations because it's falling apart at home, right? And he talked about bringing our troops home and reinvesting in our communities, right? I hate all of that. I don't want to I do not want to re-enter the Iran agreement. I do not want to bring our troops home and then reinvest that money in America. But you know what? I believe in Andrew Yang. I know he is the solution for America. I know he can win against Donald Trump, and I know when he brings the Yang presidency in 2021, when we elect him in 2020, right, that we are going to have a better future for all Americans. And that means I am more than willing to accept things that I don't like within his platform, because I understand we're trying to get some goals done here, and we cannot be one policy voters, right? We can't just throw up our hands like Bernie Sanders and say, oh, well, we really need to drive forward, right? And so I really didn't like this, what he said tonight at all, but I believe in him. I believe he has thought this through. He came to a different answer than I would have come to, and that's okay, because I trust him as a person who cares for this nation and loves every American and wants the best for them. And we aren't going to agree. Not everybody's going to agree on every policy, but I will be there, right, in April when I get to vote for him in the Pennsylvania primaries. I will be with him all the way through 2020 when I cast my vote for him. He is an incredible candidate, and that means sometimes we disagree, and that's okay, right? He talked about the media, had a nice stinger for the media at the end, and he's like, I know, essentially he said that the media is waiting for all those politicians to give their attack lines, and boy, is he right. And he called out the problem that the media is, right? And had nothing to do with UBI, had nothing to do with his normal platform, but he was saying, hey, we understand that the media is waiting for blood on the floor, and frankly, he is above it, and he is really trying to bring a civil discourse. It's one of the reasons why I think he's such a fantastic person, such a fantastic candidate, and why he's going to be a fantastic president. All right, now let's talk about his delivery. All right, the reality is, Andrew Yang, I'm so proud of him. He did a great job tonight. But I'm going to admit something to you, okay? I've been following politics for a long time. Andrew Yang is not the most charismatic person on that stage or on last night's stage. He is not the most attack-oriented, right? He is not the one who hates Trump the most, right? The reality is, when it comes to Andrew Yang, all you're going to get is the person who is the most well-educated, the person who is the most wise, the person who is the most focused on the actual threat, which is automation. And you are going to get the most logical, effective choice to lead this nation into a day when every single American will have $1,000 a month to help themselves, or in some cases, to help others. That's going to be transformative for America. That could be transformative for the world. And that is the most exciting future we have the opportunity to seize by supporting a great person. Andrew Yang for president in 2020. I'm so proud of him. It's an honor to share this report on what happened tonight in the debate with you. I'm super hyped, and I really feel we are backing the right person. Andrew Yang is going to take this nation to the next level. I am super proud of him. Andrew Yang for president in 2020. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know how you think he did tonight. I'd love to know your comments. What do you think he can do to do better in the next debate? And also, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.